wait till you hear the story of heading out of camp today.
It was a doozy.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Today has been a rough morning. We got out of camp. Well, we better start with last night. Last night, she dropped her knife on her brand new sleeping pad and popped it.
Yep.
So there was that. She patched it. She had to get up in the middle of the night and have it fixed. And fix it again because the air all went out of it again during the night. Then this morning I left my poles after climbing a mountain at camp.
In the sleet.
In sleet. It was cold, so I had to go back down the mountain and back up the mountain, and Linda had my pack and Chunky with her. Then we started walking, and apparently Chunky stepped on something because he started limping. So we're headed down to a parking lot down this mountain. Roy's gonna meet us in about 2 hours. Chunky's gonna go home and rest his little paw. I think he just got a sticker that's not big. There's just a tiny, tiny little spot in it, but he's limping, so he's going home.
We'll probably see a bear today.
I think I've dropped my gloves, I've dropped my poles. I did get my poles.
Shoe come untied.
My shoe came untied. I had to trail run up and down a mountain. It's been a day already, and it's only, what time is it?
It's not 10.
It's not even 10 o'clock yet. Oh, and it's sleeting on us. It's sleeting on us, so it's cold. That's
Good
our
times.
day.
Good
That's our
times.
day so far. There's Chunky still wanting to hike. He got a little bit of a sore foot. He's limping a tiny bit. And I checked his pad. I think he just stepped on something. So just a tiny little scratch on the bottom of his pad. But he's going home today. We were planning on sending him home on Monday anyway. But he'll just go home early, and my husband's on his way down to get him now. Or up from South Carolina to get him. He's going to meet us in a parking lot in a couple hours. Pick him up so he doesn't have to walk much more. But he's still, look at him go. He doesn't care if he has a hurt pad. Only Mom does. He still wants to hike. He will not be happy going home, but it's for the best. Woo, about to fall down this hill. At least we got on the side of the mountain, so there's no more wind. We were having really howling wind up at the top of this mountain we were on with freezing rain and sleet. It was so cold. And boy, were we glad when we got off that mountain and got down here where the mountain blocks all of that. It's much warmer now. Sleet and freezing rain makes everything green. Look how pretty these are. They almost look like little green flowers. We're getting close. But let me tell you, Pennsylvania is not the only state that has a lot of rocks. We are going through a rock field right now. Let's see if I can get through here. Chunky, wait. Woo. In the parking lot, waiting on Roy to come pick up Chunky. It is cold, it is rainy, it is windy, but at least it's not sleeting on us like it was up on top of that mountain that we just came down. Chunky, why are you crying? You want to go hiking some more, don't you? You're done, little buddy. You don't want to stand here, do you? 52.5 miles back to Springer Mountain. That's how far we've come. How far do we have to go? The number's getting smaller though. That's how far we have to go. So we just left the parking lot down there, and you can just barely see a white car. We're not even very far away up the mountain, and you can't see it because of the fog. Oh, there you go. You can see some cars driving on the highway. down there. That's Unicoi Gap down there. And look at how beautiful it is. But the fog's low. You can see the tops of the mountains over there. And then look what we get to hike through. So pretty. Look at the wisteria vines on this tree. Lots of slippery rocks today, but boy, are they pretty. Here's our water source. This is a nice one. Look at that. It's coming right out of the mountain. Wow. So this climb out of Unicoi Gap is no joke. I'd heard it was pretty hard. The mountain just keeps on a-going, up, up, up. We're still climbing, and then I think we have Trey Mountain after that, which is even higher. So I'm not sure if we'll make that tonight or not. We were planning on it, but with having to wait for Roy to come get Chunky, we got a little behind schedule. So we'll see. Trey Mountain shelter is 8 miles away, but it's 2 big mountains. Well, more than that. We had to finish climbing Blue Mountain, and now we're climbing another mountain. I don't remember the name of it. I'll put it on screen if it has a name. And then Trey Mountain after that. And that's our 8 miles for today, if we make it to Trey. There's other campsites around though, so we can always camp just a little short if we need to. Okay, so that answers that question. We are on Rocky Mountain Trail, and this is the Rocky Mountain campsite up there. But the AT continues on this way. We still have to go up and maybe up and up even more. Oh no, and it's still pouring rain. It has rained all day. Isn't it beautiful? Still climbing, still raining, but look at this. A sign of a bear. Look at that. A hungry bear was tearing up that tree to get at the bugs that were inside. That is a big hole. So I'm thinking bear for sure. It's a good sign. We're gonna see our bear someday. We got to the top of the mountain. And now we're coming down. This is the blaze we just crossed coming down the rock. It just looks really cool with the fog and everything. And here's the beautiful view from the lookout point on Rocky Mountain. Wow. I love the fog though. It is really pretty. Coming down the mountain now. It has been nice coming down. Pretty rocky still and steep, but much nicer than going up. Oops, slippery. Yeah, the leaves are pretty slippery today, and the rocks are slippery, and mossy rocks are very slippery. You have to really watch out for those. I slipped about 4 times coming down the last mountain, but never went all the way down. One of the guys we were hiking with went all the way down and ended up sitting in some mud, but everybody was okay. We're at Indian Gap right now. which means that there's another mountain to go up. And look right there, see the white blaze? I think that's Trey Mountain. It's Magic Forest. Heading up Trey Mountain. Here's our water source. This little tiny trickle right there that came down out of the hill before that mud entered below. Oh, still climbing. We just passed the cheese factory campsite, and no, there was no cheese or a factory. Otherwise we would have stayed, just a campsite. But we're trying to get up another mile or so. There's some more campsites. We are not going all the way to Trey Mountain like we planned. We just heard from some guys down in the cheese factory campsite that it is very windy, very cold. They hiked back down from Trey Mountain. They didn't want to camp up there. So we can hear the wind. We know it's cold. It's been cold all day. So we are not going to go up there either, but we are going to go a little bit further so we have less of a climb tomorrow, because Trey Mountain is quite the climb. And we're already on the base of it, I guess, now. Sure is pretty with all this fog. We've had it all day today. Rain too most of the day. Sometimes sleet. This has been one of those days, but we survived it and did well, so we are golden. They won't get much harder than this, I don't think, with all the sleet and cold weather. The trail turtle is resting. It does look a little bit like a turtle shell. Okay, we get silly when we get tired, I guess.
If I had flats or just a little bit of, not quite so,
Not quite to the campsite yet, but we're up on a ridge. The wind isn't terrible right here, but we've heard it really blowing earlier, so we are going to stay below the top. Hopefully. Wonder what that is. Looks like a bear scratched it or something. Look. All the chips down there. I don't know. Something tall. Let's see, are there nail marks up there in the top? Oh yeah, look at that. That looks like a nail mark. I think it was a bear. We're going with that anyway. How cool is this? Look between these two trees. We did have to put our tents in the rain tonight. Rained all day on us, some sleet too. It is 51 degrees right now, according to my thermometer. And there's a good wind blowing, so the wind chill's colder than that. But we've had a pretty bad day today. As far as days go, a lot of climbing, a lot of mountains, and then we sent Chunky home, so we'll miss Chunky. Now, it was cool because there was a vet hiking that gave us trail magic, and she looked at his paws and just found a couple little scrapes. Didn't think there was anything wrong with it at all, other than just something Neosporin and a couple days rest will fix. About the light going all over my face, there's a lot of wind, and so it's kind of rocking the tent a little bit, and the light is swinging because it's hooked to the tent. But anyway, even in spite of having a really bad day, we still had fun. We still did well, I think. So, I mean, this is a total win for us, because here we had a really bad weather day, and we survived it. Our stuff is dry. We're staying warm. We're fine. So it's been a great day, even though it's been a bad day.